to see you. We're calling you the Brit Pop Footballer. Wow. Is this a title that you would like to embrace, or shall I rephrase?
I've recently embraced it.
Okay.
I used to hate it back then.
Okay.
I've been in bands, when I retired from football, I went into a band. I had a whole new career for the next 10, 15 years, touring Europe, touring the world. And I was just like, my daughter had been born. I was like, I'm not doing this anymore. Can't, I've missed it too much. Went back. And I just had to park it because it was too much. And then COVID happened, and I started sort of building this character again, this indie kid footballer that I was. So I've used it as my kind of stage persona, really.
And so you should, because it's incredible to have almost two careers. Because you're one heck of a footballer.
Amazing.
Back in the day. 8 years you were at Nottingham Forest. Did you two overlap for a year or two?
Oh gosh, yeah.
Yeah.
In many ways.
Care to expand?
No.
But you were there for Cloughie as well, weren't you? You were there.
I was, yeah. So my first 2 years at Forest were as a YTS, and there were Clough's last 2 years. You leave school, your first boss is Brian Clough.
Yeah.
And you're a YTS player. So I always describe it as kind of like it was the empire crumbling, really. So I was his go-to because he loved a centre forward. So, that was my thing. I used to score goals. So he used to call me Blondie. So you'd just hear Del Boy running down the corridor. Like you just hear this coming in. All the lads, oh God, Gaffer's in. You just hear, Blondie! down the corridor. And I'd have to go up and I'd have to fix him a drink, run him his bath, sort him out and do all that kind of, all the lads would be like, your dad's in.
But it was your goal that put Nottingham Forest in the quarterfinals of the UEFA Cup.
It was, yeah. You're welcome. But honestly, when we talk about the team now being so solid at the back and doing the simple things really well, and counter-attacking, good grief! I mean, anybody that was there during those European nights, I mean, was it Auxerre away?
Oh God!
I mean, we were on the edge of our box 90% of the game.
Yeah.
And Stoney went and got a goal.
1-0.
And we were just laughing. Yeah, we were just laughing. It was the coldest night on earth, wasn't it?
It was, yeah. It was like, yeah, but...
You were playing. Mind you, you were stood still, to be fair.
The support got us through again that night. Was like just special. And it's like, I always say, like, possession doesn't win you football matches. Yeah. So what's the right way to play? Is it counter-attacking? Is it changing a little bit? All this passing out from the back? Is it going to become more forward? If Pep decides to go forward, will more teams start to go forward quicker? I don't know.
But the way you've been playing this season is so brave. I think the way Forest play that dare you to come at us.
Yeah.
We dare you to leave space in behind.
Yeah.
Because we've got the midfield and the forwards to fill that space, and we've got a striker who's going to score 20, 25 goals a season to put the ball in the net. So to play like that is so brave, isn't it?
It is. You leave 2 by 2 against Nottingham Forest at the minute at your own peril.
Yeah.
You really do. Play against us these days and you're in trouble.
You see it happening. It must happen. If you're playing it must happen in slow motion because you're like, we've been warned about this and it's still happening. It's brilliant. I don't know what fans think. I don't know what you think. Do you think having a great manager like Brian Clough, one of those great, like Man United have Sir Alex Ferguson, do you think that holds back a club a bit when that manager leaves? Because you're thinking back to that era. I think Leeds United had that with Don Revie, thinking back to that era. So you're always harking back to it. What do you think, Micah?
It's funny that, for me, what it stands for, as a brand, essentially, when you go down to the why of the club, is it stands for doing the simple things better than everybody else. And the current side are doing simplicity better than everybody else. They're not doing anything balmy. It's anti-Pep. It's so simple. It's like you can almost hear the echoes of Clough saying to Shilton, "You keep it out my net." Saying to Larry Lloyd, "You bloody head it back up there. You put it in the box. You get your head on it." And it sounds cartoonish and simplistic, but within those simple instructions, comes a plethora of like what not to do, and it's the secondary thinking that goes on as a player. The man management in that is wonderful, and I think that's the thing that is now rattling through the club. Do the simple things better than everybody else. I think that's what they're doing.
So in doing that, is this something that you can see out for the rest of the season and force your way top four?
I think so.
I've got to be honest, like I'm just like gobsmacked at where we are. When I drive into the ground to watch a game now, and the buzz and you know, and the noise from the first minute to the last minute, I can't remember it ever being like it is now. And that's been the same for the last 3 years. 2 years we've been really struggling. This year's been great. But so that's got a lot to do with what Mac has said about what Nottingham's all about, what the support's all about. You can't do anything without supporters, in my eyes. When the crowd's behind you, that is an extra man. You know, so, and that's the way it is at the minute. So I can see it happening. I'm starting to believe now, with, you know, just over a third of the season left, I can actually see it happening.
How are the nerves? Are you getting more nervous as the season goes on? No.
The nerves are about fighting relegation.
Yeah.
And you're not having that. You feel almost relaxed. And I think that hopefully comes across to the players. The crowd are relaxed. We're just going to see what we do.
Do you know, I was a guest at the West Ham game, and I noticed something. Watching the club, watching the side play, it's the first time I've seen the Murillo-Milenkovic partnership. And I likened it to how relaxed the Liverpool side were when Van Dijk and Matip started to really cook. And they go 2-on-2 or 2-on-1 against Van Dijk. They'd be like they were relaxed. It was just so commanding, so relaxed.
That must be Nuno. That must be.
I was going to say the guy that is spearheading this, Nuno.
Yeah.
Wolves. Exactly. Wolves didn't quite work at Spurs, disappeared to Saudi, won things over there. And then what is it about him and his demeanour that he is managing to connect with the fans clearly, with the team, and just sort of steering the ship?
Listen, I was one of the ones that was unsure. I didn't want to see Steve Cooper go, but obviously results took care of that when he left. I love Steve Cooper, and I wasn't sure about Nuno. It just shows in football how you can soon change your mind.
It seemed like just another manager, didn't it? You know, just another one of those.
Yeah, because we've had that many, and like, I always say, you look at the successive teams have usually have got longevity in their manager, like Brian Clough and Sir Alex and Arsene Wenger. But I just love how calm he is and everything. You know, I'd love to meet him and see what his personality is really like. I know I've heard he likes a beer. I've heard he you know. So yeah, I'd love to meet him and just to see what his personality is really like, because I've got to be honest, I can't judge his personality at all.
All right.
I was explaining to Becky earlier on. I was talking to Becky about Mull of Kintyre. I was going, I don't know why Mull of Kintyre, a song about Scotland, is your song. And I was explaining to Becky, and Becky's a lot younger than me, and I may as well have been explaining I've got a lovely bunch of coconuts from the Blitz, to be honest. It was so long ago. But, a 1977 song that you all still sing, Paul McCartney's worst song, and yet here you all are. Oh no, we're not. No! I will stand up for the frog song all day long. Was anyone there in 1977? And when it started, will it have just started organically? Did it? People started singing it on the terraces, and now it's just everyone knows it.
But that ground during the winter is misty because of the Trent. The mist rolls in, doesn't it?
Okay, right, yeah.
It does.
I've only ever been twice. I don't know. It was spring. There was no mist. Well, few of the players missed. You're in League One. But, other than that.
Hey!